trivia question for you.
Okay.
So I have a very vivid memory of being about probably 7 or 8 years old at practice, and my brother and I were sitting watching the quarterbacks. Everyone was in position groups, and we were watching the quarterbacks throw, and your offensive coordinator was trying to break you of a habit. Do you remember what that habit was?
I was patting the ball.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the rest of that story. The offensive coordinator was obviously your dad, and he probably talked to me about it 15 times a day. And then, obviously, when he left the Cowboys, he went to the Redskins as the head coach, and we played them twice a year. And every time we played them, for however many years that was, 6, 7, 8 years, he would come over in warm-ups, and he would say, "Hey, don't pat the ball." It was kind of a routine that we had, and I said, okay. I still was working on that.
Well, it's funny because, I was so young and really hadn't spent that much time that close to practice. I don't know why we got to sit that close that day, but I always remember that, the patting of the ball, and I'll see other people do it, and it's just, I guess, kind of you're getting ready to throw, right? And so it's just kind of looking for your guy.
And what it is what he was trying to help me do is get rid of the ball more quickly. And we all had a great example each and every day with Troy Aikman throwing the ball.
Right.
And he always had this amazing ability to be able to get the ball out of his hand quickly.
Right.
And that was a huge part of the offense that we were running, is get it out, get it out, get it out. And the patting the ball wasn't a good thing.
Right.
I used to try to make my arguments and my rationalizations, but in the end, they didn't amount to much. But, in a lot of different ways, your dad helped me and Troy and Steve Berline and all the other guys just develop as quarterbacks. And fundamentally, that was one of the things he emphasized, but also the bigger philosophy of getting the ball out and playing faster. The stuff that we really learned a lot from.
So I don't know if people realize this. I know it's been talked about a little bit, but you are also a football grad. You grew up with your father being a coach. And did you move from team to team very much, or?
We did. When I was real young, he was a college coach, and then we started moving around. We lived in New Jersey when he was coaching for the Giants. We actually lived down here in Texas when he was coaching with the Cowboys or scouting with the Cowboys. We lived in Louisiana when he was coaching with the Saints. And from the time I was in 7th grade to my freshman year of college, he lived in Cleveland because he was coaching for the Browns.
Right. And then you also have brothers that are involved in football, so it's definitely in your family as it is in mine. Growing up with football, growing up in that world, in that business, how do you feel that's affected your perspective of the game and how you approach the game now?
Well, it was a fabulous experience for me, for my brothers, and even for my sisters. I have 4 sisters as well. There are 8 of us all together, and it certainly consumes your life, as you know. A lot of decisions that are made for your family are made because of this profession that we're in. And a lot of those involve moving around and having some instability. But on the whole, it was just such a great experience for us growing up. My brothers and I always loved it. We loved to play really all sports, but football was the one we gravitated towards more than anything else. And my dad was always such a positive influence on that. And a lot of times when you grow up with your dad being a football coach, the complaint is he's never around, he works long hours.
Right.
But my response to that would always be, when he's around, it's really special. We get to do really special things. And he always was such a great example for us in terms of how much passion he had for it. And it was a great example for me of when you have someone in your life who loves what they do, it really pervades the entire house and the entire family in such a positive way. It was a great example for us. You want to be passionate about what you're doing in your life, and we had that example. I know you had that example. And it's a good thing to follow, whether it's football or acting or blogging or whatever you're doing in your life. It's a great thing. And sometimes it's not always the most economical or the most practical thing to do. If you're doing what you love to do, it's a pretty good life.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah.
So I know you started out as a player, obviously, and it wasn't necessarily easy for you to get into the NFL. You played in the World League before, and then fought for a